Good look at the LSU locker room. Tigers 21-6. Joe Burrow continuing his strong performance this afternoon here at Tiger Stadium, as this is SEC football presented by Allstate. Dave Neal back alongside my quarterback, DJ Shockley. And, well, Joe Burrow has completed 20 or more passes in 7 straight games. If he makes it 8, school record, he has completed 16 of 22 today. What do you make of Joe in the first half?
Well, I thought he was good in those critical moments. 6 of 9 on third down. They got 47 plays in his ball game and 2 for 2 in the red zone. He's been efficient enough to get them into good plays. And here's a good example of it. They're going to run a little in route, but it's him reading that inside linebacker, understanding he's coming up on that shorter route, and now he has the in cut right behind it. And this is another third down conversion here, just understanding where to go to football by using his eyes. Here he understands with the zone read concept. The safety bites on the zone. Now he has one-on-one on the outside with Jamar Chase. And that safety comes up. Now you give your guy a chance to throw the football down the field, and he makes it pay off with a big touchdown.
It is a blistering hot day. Hopefully this will be the last very hot day of 2019. We shall see about that, but we could definitely use a cold front.
Man, it has been steamy last few weeks.
Probably going to see some empty seats here at Tiger Stadium with this heat index getting up over 100. Of course, Utah State not used to this. It was 40 degrees back in Logan, Utah. Gary Anderson comes out of that locker room and just hit by the heat, but Dawn still had a chance to catch up with him.
Yeah, hit by the heat, but also a little disappointed in what they are doing offensively. This Utah State staff talked about how important it was on early downs for them to get ahead, to be able to do what they wanted to do offensively, and that has not been the case. He said, I don't know if we need to call better plays or what the deal is, but we've got to be better on third down, which means we got to be better on first and second. Other side of the ball, guys, he was pretty happy with how they were able to affect Joe Burrow. He said, we're throwing a lot at him, a lot of pressures. That needs to continue.
Well, they come out, run the football, and lose another yard. They are going backwards. They are now 10 rushes for minus a yard today.
That's the total opposite of what Don just talked about, is being good on first and second down. Now, his second down must be a positive play because you were not successful on first down trying to run the football.
Jordan Love. Nice tight spiral just off the fingertips. Jordan Love in that first half. 11 out of 20, 106 yards. Just hasn't had much of an opportunity to really show what he can do today. Just LSU has just owned the football. That time of possession has just been crazy today. 20 minutes and 30 seconds to 9:23. I mean, those are just staggering numbers.
And that's what makes every possession for Utah State very important.
And look, Utah State, they're going to lose the time of possession battle almost every game.
Yeah.
False start on the offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty, third down.
But today's numbers are just super exaggerated. And that is not a good start. Back him up 5 more after you lose a yard on a run and then an incomplete pass. So third down and 16. Hard to convert these.
Yeah, not many plays in the playbook for third and 16 against a front like this that's working on getting his pass rush and wants to ramp it up here knowing you're going to throw the football.
Well, LSU is all over that. Gerald Bright trying to catch that football, turn and run, but he'd run right into some purple jerseys.
Yeah, trying to set up a screen there. Not many plays you have in the book. It's either screen or draw on third and long, and I think LSU knew exactly what was coming, and almost had an interception there by Taylor Vaughn chasing.
Pierce Callister back to punt it away. High short kick. Fair catch called for by Derek Stingley. So short field coming up for LSU and Joe Burrow. As we look at our QB comparison, how about 217 in the first half, and that's your worst half in terms of yardage.
And Dave, I think it goes back to what you just talked about. Just the lack of opportunities for Jordan Love is why his numbers look the way they do. But Joe Burrow has been the efficient one, and he's had to go 99 yards on one particular drive. But he's been the guy that's gotten him in and out of good plays.
from the 47. Jefferson. He got hit. Lost a shoe, but still gets it to the 45 of Utah State.
That's a throw we saw in the first half. He missed. He was throwing that same route to the field in the first half and missed it. Good job of converting it there.
Gain of a yard. Joe Burrow completing 80% of his passes coming into this game. Will keep it on the ground and pick up the first down.
First down, the Tigers, 40-yard line.
Burrow all day to throw. Going to the end zone. No flags on the play. Crowd wanted one. It looked like Derek Dillon just kind of maybe got his cleat caught in the ground. I mean, it was just kind of he just fell down.
Yeah, I love there's no call here. The ball's thrown a little bit inside, and you see just gets his feet tangled up right there. And not able to really make a play on the football. The fans were booing, but that's a really good call. They're not throwing that. Just seeing his feet get tangled at the end. And Dave, you know, we talk about Joe Burrow and what he means to this team and offense. Coach O pointed to that big win last year versus Georgia that really gave him the confidence, and that's when he kind of warned his teammates over there in that big win.
LSU will take a timeout as the play clock was winding down. So we'll take it with them. 12:48 to go, third quarter.
Swing out in Beaumont. True South. Welcome to Beaumont.
True South presented by Yellowwood. Tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern time, right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. LSU on the move, leading it 21-6. Second down and 10. Tigers just had to take a timeout as the play clock was winding down.
See there, Utah State checks when LSU checks. Different look here for Joe Burrow. See if he makes the right decision.
Quick hitter gets to Justin Jefferson, and he'll pick up 5 to the 35-yard line. So now it'll be third down. David Woodward, by the way, making that tackle. He is now up to 12 today. He came in leading the Mountain West and third in the FBS, averaging almost 14 tackles a game.
Yeah, three of the 4 games of the season, double-digit tackles.
At a career high 24 did Woodward against Wake Forest in their opening game loss. Burrow trying to get out of trouble. Has the first down. Making something out of nothing, gains 9.
Just love what Joe does inside the pocket here. Doesn't like anything down the field, doesn't force it, still keeping his eyes down the field to throw the football, but finally says, all right, I'm going to go do it myself and get it with my legs. This is a great decision there to not throw that ball into any bad coverage, but just to go pick it up with his own legs.
This time he'll hand it off to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Spinning around, still driving. He'll get it inside the 20-yard line, a gain of 6. But Joe Burrow came in. And now, of course, you got to factor in sack yardage here, but had 19 carries for 20 yards on the season. Today, Mr. Burrow has 10 rushes for 42 yards.
Second and 4 at the 20-yard line.
Just continues to every week put good things on tape. Good things for defenses to have to worry about. Now you have to really account for him using his legs when things break down.
Little play action. Burrow comes underneath. Pass caught by Moss. He is tripped up inside the 15 by DJ Williams. That'll be a gain of 9 and a first down.
That is Moss, son of Randy Moss. That's something they want to get the tight ends more involved in. Usually the tight ends have been attached, so they haven't gotten tons of footballs this season.
Edwards-Helaire. He's inside the 5. Yeah, it was interesting talking to Joe Burrow. We said, so who comes back in the huddle and says, I'm open, give me the ball? And he hesitated for a moment, and he goes, the entire tight end group.
Tight ends love the ball. I remember when I played, tight ends were always open. They thought they should get the football more than they did. Just a growing thing with tight ends, I guess.
Edwards-Helaire will check to the left side of Joe Burrow. On a second down, they get the first down just inside the 2-yard line. Burrow batted down at the line of scrimmage. Nick Henniger breaks up that pass. It'll be third down.
Look at the balance here from LSU's offense. And this is surprising because of the fact LSU has been throwing the football for the first 4 games, but coming to this ball game, they mentioned they wanted to be able to run the football, and there has been an emphasis in this ball game to run it.
Burrow scanning the field. Pressure comes. Back across the middle. Touchdown. LSU give that one to Justin Jefferson.
We talked about earlier, Jordan Love creating plays with his legs in the scramble drill. This is Joe Burrow doing the exact same thing, and Justin Jefferson being available for him in the end zone. And good job of Burrow keeping his eyes downfield. And LSU converting there for a big touchdown.
Cade York to attempt the point after. 3 touchdown passes today for Joe Burrow. Gives him 20 on the season. Point after is up and good. Now a 28-6 LSU lead.
Joe Burrow having to go a little off schedule here. Used his legs, thinking about running, but finding Justin Jefferson for another touchdown. LSU up big.
LSU has pushed their lead to 22 as we take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance.
Yeah, the emphasis in this ball game has been the tackling. LSU has swarmed to the football, and not many guys have been able to break any tackles from this LSU stingy defense today. Coming in 27 missed tackles in their last 2 ball games today. They have been on task and been on point.
Only 2 missed tackles for that man's defense, Dave Aranda. And 7 tackles behind the line, which has resulted in -1 rushing for Utah State.
Touchback, first down, 25-yard line.
You know, talking to Ed Ogeron about why there were so many missed tackles, it's not the guys don't want to, you know, they want to get their nose in there. We've heard that a lot, like coaches saying that we just got to work on our tackling. It's been a real struggle, this open field tackling. We need better leverage. And he says it's because the way the game has changed. It's hard to stop a wide receiver in a one-on-one situation in the open field.
Yeah, he's calling it basketball on grass, which is what it is. Spread offenses.
Here the pile drives for the first down out to the 37-yard line. A gain of 12 on that first down catch by Scarver.
But you're right, Dave. These spread offenses are just putting guys in space and forcing you to tackle. And he talked about a lot of it is guys just knowing where their help is. If you got outside leverage, you got help inside, there's no need for you to jump inside. That's kind of been the issue for them.
Riley Burt, the transfer from BYU, picks up 6 yards. Jason makes that tackle. First time we've called his name out for a stop today. returning from injury. They'll run with Burt again. He's out to the 45. It'll be 3rd down and about a yard.
And we came to this ball game. The key for Utah State offensively, they wanted to establish their own pace. This looks like the pace they want to play with a big 3rd down.
I don't think they got it. They're going to be shy. Grant Delpit comes up from his safety spot. He said we could expect to see him a little bit more at the line of scrimmage today.
Yeah, we've seen him everywhere from the high hole in the middle of the field to playing linebacker that time up on the line of scrimmage. And when we talked to him yesterday, he talked about my biggest strength is my versatility. I can play anywhere on this defense, anywhere in the secondary. And he just showed you right there with another phenomenal tackle to stop this Utah State offense on 3rd down.
High kick from Callister. Fair catch called for and taken by Stingler. 35-yard punt. As we take a look at the smoothest play brought to you by Velveeta.
Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, these receivers are ready for the National Football League. And when you got a quarterback giving those guys an opportunity, they know they're going to have chances to make plays. Justin Jefferson going up, making a big grab. This offense with those 2 guys, and they're missing Terrence Marshall as well, but those 2 guys have not slowed down their pace of putting a lot of pressure on opposing defenses.
Jefferson, 8 catches, 116 yards on 9 targets. Of course, has that touchdown. Coming into this game, LSU had 19 players with a catch. 19 guys had caught a ball. 11 had scored a touchdown through the air. Boy, good running by John Emery. Gain of 13. See if LSU can grind out another long drive. That's been the story for LSU today. They came in averaging 2 minutes and 17 seconds on scoring drives. But they have 3 of their touchdown drives have been over 4 minutes today. Burrow has to drop it off underneath. Pass is caught by Moss. Gain of 3. There it is. They're 14th in the country.
And Dave, you know what? I don't think that's a bad thing. If you're going into the bulk of your season in SEC play, things are not going to happen as fast as they've been happening. The fact that they've been able to grind out some tough drives shows them they have the wherewithal to do so if they need to.
Pass is dropped across the middle, trying to hit Racy McMath.
And to be honest, everything has been kind of easy for this LSU offense in the first 4 games. Yeah, Texas gave them a nice run, but they still were able to move the football with ease and do what they wanted to. This is a good ball game to show them they have to grind out a few drives if they have to.
3rd down coming up for LSU. Utah State bringing some heat. Burrow felt it, runs away from it. Jefferson can't hang on to it, a little bit behind him. He's mad. Both of them mad they couldn't make that one work.
As they should be. They both saw it. Burrow saw the pressure coming off the edge, knowing he wasn't able to get him. Troy Leffers brings the pressure off his right side and just underthrows Jefferson just a little bit. That's a play they probably make every single day in practice.
Jordan Nathan back to return this punt. There's a flag. Utah State went after it. What they got was Zach Van Rosenberg.
Wow, I'm not sure how they missed that football. They had 2 or 3 guys that were right on Van Rosenberg and unable to get the football, but like you mentioned, got all of him.
Van Rosenberg just turned 29 years old, the 5th oldest player in college football after spending 6 years in minor league baseball. Just showed up on campus. We were talking to Coach O about it yesterday. He goes, he literally just showed up. We didn't have any idea. He's like, hey, I think I might be able to punt. And they let him punt a little bit, and they were like, oh, we might be on to something.
Hey, Coach Joe, can I play? Can I play for your team, please?
Yeah.
Can I talk to you for a second? Looks like all these young 18 and 19-year-olds trying to take my leg off here.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker, number 11. That's a 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
I can come right in here, right through the middle. I'm not even sure how he missed that football because the ball was still on his foot here. Just barely missed it. His ankle was bad. His ankle was at his thigh, not at his foot. They tell you to go at his foot when you're trying to block a kick. And if he goes at the foot of it, I think he gets the block. But
yeah, he was there.
He was there.
But instead, it puts the defense back on the field for Utah State. The first down in Aggie territory at the 49-yard line.
Last thing you want to do is give these guys more possessions.
There goes John Emery, cuts it back. Pick up 7.
Emery carried the ball, tackled by number 10.
LSU now with 419 yards of offense. 173 of that on the ground. And you can add some more. Good running right there from Emery, who gets flipped in the air as he gets to the 32-yard line and a first down.
LSU's never had an issue with finding a running back, and Emery is next in line. And look at the vision. Look at the cut. He has some natural ability, and you can see when he runs the football, not only is he physical downhill with it, but he can make you miss.
Off the left side for 3. We're actually seeing number 70, Ed Ingram, at left guard right now. Ed, we were told yesterday, and even Coach O said in his press conference, that Ed Ingram, who's been out for 14 months, had an off-the-field situation, had some charges brought against him. Those charges were dropped. He was cleared of everything, so he was brought back into the program. Played a lot as a freshman in 2017, nothing last year. He spent the last 2 weeks trying to get ready. We thought he was going to start, but only played 1 possession in that first half. But he's playing quite a bit here in the second half as Emery makes the catch and stays on his feet and lost the football. And Utah State thought they had it. Maybe they do. Leffridge was in there. He may have come up with the football when it's all said and done.
Well, if there's anything that Coach O will be extremely mad and disappointed about, is the fact they put the ball on the ground so many times a day. Punches that football out. Utah State with a big key stop here. Now getting the football back.
ESPN Plus is your home for thousands of live events and exclusive originals. Sign up today at espnplus.com.
Well, Utah State creates another turnover. A couple of fumble recoveries and interception today. The Aggies will have it right around the 19-yard line as they start this drive. Trying to get this, what had been a pretty high-powered offense, cranked up. Catch made by Carson Terrell. And here's a look at that fumble. Metzenheimer came in and kind of forced that. His second forced fumble today. Leffridge scooped it up.
That was the old Peanut Tillman from the Bears punch right there, punching that football out.
No gain on that, so now you're looking at third down as Utah State goes fast. Love. And just like that, it's fourth down.
And here's the thing, that hurts your defense more than anything because you're kind of come right back on the field again after a quick 3 and out. It's the only thing with the up-tempo offense. If you're not getting first downs, you're not moving the chains, puts your defense in a very, very precarious spot.
Offensive coordinator Mike Sanford said to us, we were meeting with them, that he's not going to change who they are and what they do.
Derek Stingley Jr., deep for the Tigers.
Wobbly kick, fair catch called for by Stingley. Will take it at the 37-yard line. 41-yard punt. Let's go downstairs, check in with Dawn. I'm still surprised you're upright at this point, Dawn. It's so hot.
Barely. Let me tell you, though, about this Utah State defense. I've been watching them the entire game. They look a little quieter, not as much communication here on this sideline, a little more sluggish when they're standing up, and a lot of that could have to do with the heat. I tell you what, it is brutal down here, and you're looking at a team that practiced in weather with a high of 56 all week long. So that is a stark difference. Their head athletic trainer, Mike Williams, told me they tried to pour electrolytes into them all week long, but it is so hot down here, and that defense has been out there a while.
Dawn, last week we were at Vanderbilt. It was like 120-something on the turf there. Are we close to that here? Does it feel like that here?
And are you turning into Babs down there, not Dawn now?
Yes, because it is so hot. Let me tell you this. Vandy has that turf, so that makes it a little hotter. There's a little bit of a breeze here, but, man, it is brutal. I can't believe it's October down here.
Let's hope this is our last hot day. I think I'm speaking for everybody in the South.
I hope.
28-6, LSU out in front. Of course, night game next week for LSU. So Gators come to town. Burrow. Well, he is so calm in these situations where he's flushed out of the pocket. His eyes are always down the field. To me, that's one of the things I noticed Joe Burrow from last year to this year, just the calmness that he has.
Yeah, and where a lot of quarterbacks get frustrated or get flustered inside the pocket when their first or second read is not there, he continues to still look down the field and doesn't get all antsy inside the pocket like you see some guys do. And he has grown tremendously as a quarterback in 1 year.
But a third down coming up, 3rd down and 6. LSU 9 out of 13 on conversions today. And they get number 10. Burrow trying to make it happen. Pass is caught there by Jamar Chase. Breaks a tackle, has that first down to the Aggie 40-yard line. A gain of 19 yards.
I mean, it's tough for a defensive backfield to cover this long. And Jamar Chase comes back to his quarterback. And Utah State now has 8 missed tackles in this ball game after Jamar Chase makes another guy miss near the sideline.
Homegrown product, Caden Anderson out of Logan, Utah. A little slow to get up in front of that LSU bench. We'll step aside for a moment as LSU is on the move again. Oh, you hate to see that for Caden Anderson, the junior defensive tackle, being helped off the field as LSU converted another 3rd down. Now 10 out of 14. Joe Burrow, a big part of that, using his feet and his arm to convert this afternoon.
Yeah, that's where he's been special. And the off-schedule plays are where Joe Burrow, I think, has grown as well. He's been good inside the pocket, but when things break down, he's still able to make a quality decision and a big play to help this offense.
First down and 10 from the 39. So play action for Burrow. Going up top toward the end zone. Jefferson is there, makes another catch. Oh my goodness, Justin Jefferson with his 2nd touchdown catch of the day. This one goes for 39 yards.
It's almost unfair to watch these guys run routes and Joe Burrow put him up the bat. It's not enough for DJ Williams on the outside for Utah State, and Burrow drops another perfect throw for a touchdown to Justin Jefferson.
Burrow putting up some more impressive numbers, 24 35, 315, and 4 more touchdown passes. Can't forget he has one rushing today from a yard out. Going after, up and good to make it a 35-6 game.
It's a switch route. He's going to start here and run right down the sideline. You're going to get a switch route coming inside, and they get confused and watch Justin Jefferson go down this right sideline, and nobody is there. And just a perfectly thrown football on their right side shoulder. Corner gets look inside, and look at the eyes of Joe Burrow. Eye that safety down, give his receiver a chance, and then at the end, Justin Jefferson with the late hands to get his hands up to make that play. I'm semi-happy that Joe Burrow.
Jefferson with another touchdown reception. That is 7 this season for Justin Jefferson. 9 catches, 155. Tell you what, these numbers, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to look at these numbers, and I think anybody that's watched this game from beginning to this point anyway said it hasn't been as crisp as LSU has played, but the numbers tell you otherwise. I mean, they've rushed for a season-high 190. They've thrown for over 300 again. They're at 505 total yards and 35 on the scoreboard with a quarter and change left.
Oh, they're going to say, Joe only completed 68%. He's been completing 80%, but 68 is pretty darn good. Joe has been able to use his arm, his legs to create for this offense, and it's been pretty special to watch. When things aren't there, he makes something happen, but when he has an opportunity to put his receivers up the bat, he does a great job doing so. The extra play, off-schedule plays are what making Joe Burrow the next type of big quarterback in the Southeastern Conference and in the country. LSU is rolling right now.
Jamar Chase had 4 touchdown receptions against Vanderbilt. Justin Jefferson has a couple here today. Those two guys have combined on the year for 13 touchdown catches.
Right carried the ball.
There's another team over in this Western Conference with some pretty good receivers, and LSU was trying to throw their hat in the ring to say, hey, we got some pretty good receivers over here as well that you got to pay attention to.
Now, I know there's a long way before we get there, all right? I mean, LSU has got a tough schedule coming up. First down for the Aggies. Catch made by Tompkins. Of course, Florida will be here next week, but, I mean, if things play out and we get to early November and Alabama and LSU are sitting there undefeated, can you imagine what that's going to be like?
Got to go to Tuscaloosa.
Interception by LSU in Aggie territory. That one is going to set LSU up right around the 44-yard line. Vincent comes up with the pick.
Yeah, this is just a frustration throw. Haven't had many throws down the field. You can see Jordan Love, he's covered like a blanket pretty much. Vincent does a great job there of really sitting in that hip pocket, and when he throws the football, breaks on it. I think that was the throw that Love would want back. But he hasn't had many opportunities today to throw the football down the field, so I don't blame him trying to fit one in there.
Ty Davis-Price back on the field at running back. And he'll take it inside the 40 down to the 39-yard line. We're talking about that LSU schedule. Obviously, Florida's here next week. Then they're at Mississippi State. I mean, let's just say Auburn keeps rolling. They are undefeated. They'll come in here the end of October. That could be a massive game. And then you get a week off if you're LSU, and then you go to Alabama.
No rest for the weary in this league right here. You got to be ready to play every single week, and the West has turned out to be a really, really tough conference.
First down run for Ty Davis-Price. But this is what's in store for LSU over the next 4 games. Now, nobody plays a more difficult stretch than Florida, which starts today against Auburn. But this, in its own right, has a lot of potholes in it, right? If you're not playing at a high level.
Yeah, I mean, a good thing for LSU, they get Florida, they get Auburn in their own building, and it's going to be live. We know night game for next week for LSU and what that means for the fan base here. But going to Tuscaloosa, but it's going to be a tough schedule. That's why they're hoping to be clicking on all cylinders before they get there.
Quick hit, it's caught. Stephon Sullivan will pick up 8.
For the 26-yard line.
Sullivan's 8th grab of the year, up over 100 yards. The senior out of Donaldsonville, Louisiana.
Woodward made the stop. But an Aggie shaken out at the 25-yard line.
Tipanalei down. He's injured. The senior out of Euless, Texas, transferred in from TCU. That's something that Gary Anderson was able to do, fill some holes. They lost a bunch of players from that 11-2 team. He went out and got some transfers, some graduate transfer guys that were ready for plug-and-play type situation. And there's one of them right there, Nalei.
You give Utah State a lot of credit. I mean, they come into this game 3-1. They should have started the season at Wake Forest and had a chance to win that ball game late and just couldn't finish it off. This is a good football team that competes hard, and they've done it today, just a little overmatched by this LSU team.
LSU will let the clock wind to 0 and wrap up the third quarter. A couple of touchdowns for the LSU offense to push this lead to 35-6. Man, we've seen a lot of those type of graphics this whole season for LSU. Just domination offensively. Today, the defense adding on.